Hey everybody, this is Chad from Six Blog. I'm Stick, and today I've got my tent set up out in my front yard. I'm actually on call this Thanksgiving holiday weekend, so can't really go anywhere. So I decided that since I can't go nowhere, because of the temperatures during the night, it'd be a good time to set up my tent out in the yard and see how I can do with some of my sleep system as far as what kind of temperatures I can take it to. We're supposed to have temperatures down to 27 degrees tonight, which is kind of hard to believe because at the moment it's 60 degrees, and actually being inside this Cuban fiber tent is probably closer to 70 degrees. But anyway, they're saying it's going to be 27 degrees tonight, so I'm going to take that opportunity tonight, and tomorrow it's even supposed to be colder, so I'm going to take both these nights to take the opportunity to see how I can do with my 35 degree Enlightened Equipment Prodigy quilt, as well as how it works with some of my other sleep system that I'm trying out this year. Now, some of you may remember I just recently did a review on my GooseFeet Gear down pants. This is going to be used to supplement this 35 degree sleeping quilt if I get too cold. However, that's not what this video is about. Also on my top, I've got my Montbell Ultralight Down Inner Parka with the hood because this is a quilt. And I'll be using this on the top if I get too cold. But also, this video is not about this. This video is actually going to be about my feet and my toes, or better yet, my GooseFeet Gear down socks. Not only my down socks, but my GooseFeet Gear Over-Booties. Also, just for the record, I do have my Black Rock Gear down hat to wear to keep my head warm. But anyway, my socks. My toes always seems to be a problem as far as getting cold whenever I'm, out backpacking, and it gets cold. It seems like my toes get cold and they can't warm up. In the past, what I've been using is this pair of Lorpin Expedition. They're made with Primaloft and Polartec. These are some really heavyweight, heavy-duty socks. They actually weigh in 4 ounces for just one pair in a size extra large. But they're really nice socks, don't get me wrong. However, I still had cold toes wearing these. Plus, these are so big and so thick and heavy duty, it's real rare that I would actually wear these while I was backpacking. So these were pretty much strictly just sleep socks. And at 4 ounces for one pair of sleep socks that barely kept my toes warm, that was kind of pushing it. So this year, I decided I was finally going to break down and get some down socks. So I did. Now, I will say that places like REI and I think maybe Sierra Designs and a couple other companies, North Face, they sell some with like a hard sole, and those are more of like a outerwear down shoe rather than a sock. This is a sock. These don't have soles on them at all, and I actually use these inside my sleeping bag, and that way, since I don't use these to walk around outside in the grass or in the dirt or whatever, these stay clean, which keeps inside my sleeping bag clean. Now, just a little bit of information about these. Like I said, these are made by GooseFeet Gear. There's a couple of different options that you could get. Started off with, I got a size large. I wear a size 12 in boots. And I don't remember the sizes. You can go to the GooseFeet Gear site, and that'll have it all listed. He's got a nice little chart there. But I ended up going with a size large for my size 12 feet. I decided to go with the M50 material rather than the stock. I believe it's M90. And then also I added a quarter or a 25% extra down to it. I'm not sure what the total cost on these was. It's been a couple months since I bought them. But I will say the total weight on the pair is 2.2 ounces, which is pretty good because the starting weight on these is 2.2 ounces. But the M50 actually cut out a fair amount of weight, which is why they weigh as little as they do for the size that they are and with the overfill. But 2.2 ounces for some down socks. So right there, if I compare these down socks to these Lorpin socks that I was wearing, considering I didn't use these really to actually hike in, I'm not going to use these to hike in, right there I've knocked off 1.8 ounces of my total weight. And from the use that I've used them in so far, they've been really good at keeping my entire feet warm. Now, I really like them. I'm looking forward to using them this winter some more. Really push the temperatures. The coldest temperatures I've had them out into is about 30, low 30s, somewhere around there. Low to mid 30s, about the coldest I've had them out to. But like I said, they kept my foot super warm. I really like them. And they just have a simple piece of elastic here at the top. Now, the thing, what I was thinking about is if I'm gonna have my toes up in here, my feet up in here, and they're all warm and cozy, and I have to get up and go pee in the middle of the night, because I always do, it never fails, I always have to get up and go pee, I'm not gonna wanna have to pull these off. So Ben actually sells these Over-Booties on his site also. These start at $45. Well, not start, they're $45. Well, I don't know, they may start. But anyway, so I decided I'd go ahead and pick up a pair of these, because the way these work is you leave your socks on, you slide your foot into the Over-Booties, kind of cinch the little cinches down, I'll show you that in just a little bit, and then you just take these out and you walk around in them. And as you can see from the bottom, I have been walking around with these, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But anyway, I bought a size large in these because the way he sizes them, if you buy a size large in the down socks, you buy the size large in the Over-Booties. They match that way. So I bought a size large. I opted to go with the Dyneema bottom rather than the, I think it's Tough Tech, might be the name of the other bottom for the other. There's a different option that you can get for the soles, or not the sole, yeah, the soles, or for the outside part. I believe, sorry about the traffic, I believe the other option is called Tough Tech, and it's a little bit heavier than the Dyneema X. Considering I'm not going to be wearing these a whole lot, but just for excursions, you know, in the middle of the night, I decided to go with the lighter weight Dyneema X, because Dyneema is a pretty tough material in itself. The top of it is just a seal nylon top, and this pair that I have comes in at 2.2 ounces. So now, if I weigh, I said these come in at 2.2, these come in at 2.1, these come in at 2.2. So now if I take the combined weight of these, I have 4.3 ounces. So, considering I save 1.8 ounces by going with these from these, since I've added these in, I've actually added 0.3 ounces back to my weight. However, due to what they offer, I'm pretty happy with that extra 0.3 ounces in weight, and I'm looking forward to using these and leaving these behind. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I will say real quick, I have thought about, if you turn these inside out, you'll see that there's actually a 1/4 inch, I believe that's a 1/4 inch, just a closed cell foam, like an insole is what is in each of these pairs. Now I found that if I take both of those insoles out, I'll save an extra 0.4 ounces off the weight. So one thing that I'm thinking about doing, I'm not 100% sure, I've got to try it out and see how it works, but if you'll, some of you may remember I just posted a video on some Snuggly Toes, which are these here. These are some alpaca foot warmers from Snuggly Toes, is the name of the company that sells them. And what I was thinking about doing, these are pretty thick, but I'm thinking about possibly removing those insoles, the closed cell foam insoles out of these, and using these in the place, because these I will just be using inside my boots to hike with during the day. So at night when I get done hiking, I could just slide these out of my boots, slide these into my Over-Booties, and keep them with me. You know, that way if I have to get up in the middle of the night, slide those in, and that'll actually cut 0.4 ounces off the weight, which will give me a grand total of 3.9 ounces, which again is lighter than the 4 ounces for this. So that's just something I'm thinking about. I haven't quite decided yet. I haven't really done it yet, so that's just something I'm thinking about. But anyway, I'm going to move this camera in just a little bit closer and give you a better look at how the down socks fit inside the Over-Booties, and then I'm going to call it quits. So hang on just a second. Okay guys, so go ahead and slip on my sock here. And you can see how the sock fits. Kind of pointed at the tip. That's okay with me. And then the way the Over-Booties work, so you can see there's a cinch cord around the top opening, and then there's also one that's connected through a little loop back here in the back, and that just basically goes around like the lower part of your ankle. But you just slide that on, go ahead and tighten up the top part and tighten up that part, and what that does is that just kind of holds it in place, and then there you have it. Now I will say that I found that the down sock will slide fairly a good bit, especially if you're walking up or down a hill or along the side of a hill. The down sock will actually slide against that piece of closed cell foam pad that's down in the bottom. So I found that I've really got to be careful when I'm walking around with these out in the middle of the night. However, like I said, it's not like I'm hiking in these or anything. This is just something, you know, I'm asleep at night, I wake up because I got to pee, which like I said is awesome, awful, shoot, I've lost what I'm trying to say. It's typical. So I wake up, I just reach over, grab my Over-Booties on, slip them on. I can leave my socks on so my toes are still nice and warm. Get up, go do my duty, come back, take them off, and slide back in bed. And that's pretty much it. And then like I said, if I take those closed cell foam pads out and replace it with these snuggly toes, that'll even cut more weight. But I'm just going to have to see how that's going to go. But anyway, overall I'm really happy with them so far. I've only used them on one trip. That was my 3-4 day trip over in the Roan Highlands. But I wore them. They did great. Really happy with them. Like I said, 65 bucks is what these start at. 45 bucks is what these are. So looking at $110, but in my opinion it's $110 well spent so far for me. So anyway guys, that's my that's just kind of a preview of the GooseFeet Gear down socks and the GooseFeet Gear Over-Booties. You can get the Over-Booties, you can get different colors in this seal nylon upper, and like I said, you can get different foot or a different outer sole, different material. And then on your GooseFeet, on the down socks, you can get a number of different materials as well as a number of different colors. Of course, you can get different sizes, and you can get overfills added to that if you want a little bit more. But anyway, I really recommend them so far. Not anything but good experiences with them. But you know, the winter's just starting for us here. Like I said, it's 60 degrees, but I am looking forward to some cooler temperatures, and I'll just see how it goes once those cooler temperatures come. But anyway guys, I appreciate you watching. If you have any comments or questions, just post them down at the bottom of this video or my blog post, or you can get in touch with Ben over at GooseFeetGear.com, and he'd be more than happy to answer any questions for you and get you hooked up with your own pair if you'd like. But anyway guys, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks.